Hey guys, it's Amanda, also known as Silly Pancake on DeviantArt, and really quickly I just wanted to film a video while I have free time here at home because I'm on spring break right now, and I just got back from the eye doctor and my eyes are currently really dilated. I don't know if you could tell. So things are kind of blurry and kind of very bright, but that's not going to stop me. Today's video I'm very excited about. I'm going to be showing you guys this ginormous pile of some of my old artwork, and I am going to film holding the camera, so if it's shaky I apologize, but it is what it is, and I hope I'm in frame right now. Yes, I'm super excited to show you this, and let's get started. So first of all, I store all of my old artwork in this big box. I got this like Christmas gift came in this, and so all of the old sketches that I've saved have fit in this box, but like 90% of this box is like from the years 2009, 2010. Those were really busy years, but I took all the notebooks and stuff out so I could show you guys this in some sort of order, and I'm not going to go through everything, but this I believe is from 2008. Here, let me try and get in some better lighting here so you can see. Just gonna flip through this sketchbook. This was like 2008, like I said, and this is like a notebook that I had to keep for one of my drawing classes, and I was very anime influenced. I don't know if you can tell, like there's a huge anime influence thing. Here's like a waterbender, anime teacher guy, and I never drew hands or my proportions were really bad. So yeah, a whole bunch of like Naruto things, chibi things, firebender things. Apparently this is me as a firebender. And then down here I wrote hot-headed, hot-tempered, and hot for waterbenders. I was so cool in 2008. Yeah, there's like a Toph looking girl from The Last Airbender, and Mugen, because I've literally been trying to watch Samurai Champloo for the past 5 years. It's crazy. Or 8 years, I don't know. However long, for the past 7 years. For the past 7 years I've been trying to watch Samurai Champloo, and I have sexy written there because I was so weird. So yeah, this is just when I was really starting to get into drawing, and here's like some of the project stuff that I had to do. Here's like a self-portrait. That's what I looked like in 2008. Yeah, just like a lot of anime style stuff. I still loved elephants, even back then. Typical kind of stuff. So this one's not bad. I think this one actually looks kind of cool. Yeah. So yeah, just, I don't know. I don't want to go through this whole thing. Here's another picture of what I would look like as a firebender. Yeah, there's really nothing that interesting in here, but yeah, so this is like where it all began. Then we move into 2009, and here's where I actually started to get into like thought out drawings, and you can still see a very heavy anime influence. This whole binder is combined 2009, 2010, and maybe some of 2011, although I don't really think so. And I tried to get it in order as best I could, but here's just some like little random sketches. Here's Totodile. He's always my first choice. He was my first choice Pokemon in Soul Silver, and I love him. Jack Spicer. Yep. Shikamaru. And then I have this thing that I did, and it's Luke Skywalker, and then it's like me as a fangirl. And he has a little thought bubble, so it's just another fangirl. Ugh. And then here's this one, and it's Light Yagami and Elle from Death Note, and they're like little angels, and they're floating up in heaven. And then there's Misa down in hell, and I'm not really sure what that's all about. So yeah. Anyway, moving on. I'm not sure how old this is. I think it might be 2008 or 2009. But this was my family's Christmas card one year, and so I drew like my family, and it's, looking at it now, it's really funny. But like, here's me, my stepmom, my dad, my stepbrother, and my stepsister. And like, my stepbrother worked at Best Buy, and like my stepsister loved Hollister, and I had a Gurr shirt. And so yeah, this is just like how my family looks, except I drew my stepsister and my stepmom like super tan, and they're not that tan in real life. I mean, they're darker than me, but that's not saying much. So yeah. And then here's like when I actually first started getting into markers, and I was using like the Tombow markers. They're a water-based marker, and they were super streaky, really streaky. Yeah, but you can tell like the proportions are kind of off, and there's kind of a background, but not really. This is actually a scan. This isn't the original drawing, but this was the first thing I ever did with Copic markers, and it's really faded, but there's like a little pencil thing there that says yay for Copic markers. And I think I used a reference photo for the hands here. I definitely used a reference photo for the hands here, because there's no way I had that kind of skills at 2009. I don't even have those skills now. So, and apparently this was for my mom. So that was my first Copic marker drawing. And you can see like these anime influence and kind of how it starts to change throughout my drawings. Here's another one. I used to love this one. There's so many pieces in these notebooks now that I'm like, at the time I was like, this is the best piece I'll ever make. This is like my masterpiece. And then like 6 months later, a year later, I created something even better. And that's just kind of the cool part about looking at these drawings, is like, I used to love this, and now I look at it and I'm like, her head is the size of her torso. Like, what? It doesn't even make sense. And then I did like a lot of these really floating characters. I don't know why I just didn't use smaller paper, because I drew so small. But yeah, you can see these Tombow markers were really streaky, but I used the Copics for the skin tone, because you can see that's the only part that bled through. And yeah, so I did basically a lot of girls with brown hair and like anime, like super anime eyes. Yeah, I don't know. These are all kind of the same. Like, I don't know where I got these ideas, but I had like so many cool, weird ideas back in 2009. Man, it was crazy. Oh, here's a blonde person. I almost never drew blonde people. Crazy. And my other thing was I always drew Converse shoes. Those were the only shoes I really knew how to draw. So, this was another one of the pieces that I thought was going to be like my best piece. And I really liked the way it turned out, but I mean, her head is still huge, and who holds their hand like that? Nobody. Yeah, but I really loved this piece back when I first made it. I drew two people. Actually, I draw like guys and girls a lot in like my pieces, but kind of the same thing now. I draw primarily girls and not as many guys. And yeah, here's this one. She's kind of like a retro girl. I don't know, she's actually pretty cute. Like I did a pretty good job for 2009. It's crazy to think that this was 6 years ago that I drew all of these. So I don't know, I'm just gonna kind of speed this up and try and show you guys.
A little bit quickly, I didn't today with the shirt off and like a shit ton of grass and nothing else. Yeah, cool. There's this guy, he looks like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. I used to have an iPod that looked like that, so that's probably why. Little Japanese schoolgirl, pretty typical of anyone who ever watched anime. This one I used to like, yeah.
Panda bears have always kind of been like a thing for me because my name rhymes, like Amanda Panda. Yeah, how original. So yeah, and oh yeah, I got more Copic markers at this point. And the reason I can tell is because you can see that it like bled through the paper, and this was just like sketchbook paper, so it was not good paper whatsoever. This was another one. I think this might have been like my first piece on DeviantArt or something like that, or one of my first pieces that I ever posted on DeviantArt. And I looked up a rose tutorial on how to draw roses, so that's how that happened. And I think I looked at like Cartoon Girl 7's pieces for reference or something like that. It was so long ago that I don't really remember, but I could have sworn this was going to be my best piece that I ever created. I could have sworn this piece was going to be the best piece that I ever created, because I really loved the way this looked. I should do a redraw of this because I really like the way just the red looks against like the white background. Obviously I would actually draw something in here like brick or something, but this would be a really cool one to redraw. So thumbs up if you think I should do that, because that'd be fun. This is where we get into what I call the big forehead phase, where I just drew massive foreheads, like, and I didn't really notice it. I don't know, like, oh, here's from when I reached 6,000 page views on DeviantArt. And here she has a small forehead, but her rest of her face is huge. That actually kind of looks like my mom. I'm not saying you have a huge face, Mom. I'm just saying this kind of looks like you. And she has a little cupcake that has 6,000 on it. And yeah, so it's memories, because now I have 5 times that many page views. Here's another big forehead, and she's wearing a shirt that says tofu. I don't know why, and the tofu's like, tofu is smiling. And then there's another panda bear. And yeah, I really can't explain myself with a lot of these. Here's another boy. Here's a boy and a girl and a really super derpy dog. He looks like a stuffed animal, but he's actually like moving, so that's what's weird. And then a lot of like floating grass scenes. This next one's a floating grass scene too. This I thought was going to be the best piece I ever made. And I mean, it's pretty good for being 6 years ago. And she looks like she's in a wedding dress or something. I don't really remember what was behind this piece, but she's kind of got a big forehead too. And yeah, I used to do my eyes so differently. But I've changed it since then. Here's another boy and a girl. And here's their Converse, because that's the only shoes I knew how to draw. Converse and boots. Here's something, mixing it up a little. Here's a break dancer, and then I did like my signature in like graffiti. God, I was so original. What happened? And I never finished it because this boombox was never colored, and he's just like really awkwardly floating. And obviously I didn't float it out that well because his foot did not make it. Here's another boy and another girl, and this time they're playing Nintendo DS's. And I used to have a pink DS, so that was awesome, but I never had a shirt that was that cool. Yeah, so that's another piece. Here is Half Dog. This dog looks pissed. And I was getting a lot more Copic markers at this point, and I was using Bristol board, so I was using better paper too. So upgrade, and I still drew a lot of grass. I liked drawing grass though. Grass is fun. This was inspired by the Kelly Pickler song, the Red High Heels song. Yeah. It looks kind of weird because, like, I don't know, I guess it looks kind of cool, but like she's wearing a white dress and she just kind of blends into the background except for the red. Oh my gosh, I can't even see. My eyes are so dilated and blurry. Here, she's wearing mismatched Converse and her shoes are untied. But this is kind of cute. Yeah, I don't know. Here's a cool piece that I did of like a girl being colored in Copic markers. And I actually did write Mr. Eraser on my eraser because I was such a nerd. And then here's, I drew Copic markers, and then she's like being colored in. And her Converse are untied too. What the heck? And so are hers. It's crazy. And then I really liked sock monkeys too. And I used to like always wear my shirts like that. So none of these are like intentionally self-portraits. They were just like, I always just drew girls with brown hair and that had their shoes untied and didn't have their lives together. This I thought was going to be the best piece I ever did because, I don't know, I was really into like mob stuff. So like drawing guns and like roses and stuff were like really cool to me. And it was when I was reading Darcy Robbins' webcomic, which she doesn't have online anymore, but it was called La Cosa Nostra, and it was all about like the mafia, and I thought it was so cool. And like, I don't know, her hair is kind of weird, but I seriously thought this was going to be like the best piece I ever created. I've said that like 5 times now, but that's literally how 2009 was for me. And this, I used a reference for the hands and the camera. It was like one of the daily deviations on DeviantArt like years and years and years ago. And then I was really into drawing roses because they were like the one thing I could draw relatively well. And I probably looked up something for the butterfly too, because I probably couldn't freehand a butterfly like that. Even now, I probably couldn't. Yeah, but you can see like the improvements from even like early 2009 or late 2009. Actually, this was early 2009, this piece right here. This was probably later in 2009, even like maybe middle of 2009. I don't know. Here is a classic moment. This is when I first started getting into superheroes, particularly shipping Dick Grayson and Barbara Gordon. And so there's like a little note here that says, "Will you be my superhero? Love, Babs." And then their poses are so off. They're really bad. Their heads are huge, and I don't know, but it's cute. And they're also wearing Converse. She has a little Batman Converse. And here's a Pokemon piece I did. I completely forgot I did this, and to be honest, I think it's really good. Like, I think I did a really good job with it. And I drew like all fire Pokemon. And it's weird because fire Pokemon aren't even like my favorite Pokemon. I like fire Pokemon, but I like water Pokemon better. And I like electric Pokemon. But fire Pokemon are okay. Yeah. But I was showing these to my boyfriend, and he didn't believe that I was a nerd. Like, I was a huge nerd. Even before I met him. I kind of turned him into more of a nerd. That was March 2009. This, I'm pretty sure, is Victoria Beckham. It's not supposed to be, but I'm pretty sure it is, because she is like stick skinny, and she's got like 6-inch heels, and she's got shopping bags that probably weigh more than she does. But she looks like hella good, so yeah, I'm pretty sure I drew Victoria Beckham. Oh my god. Okay. I have to explain myself with this, because this piece was when I got 8,000 page views on DeviantArt, and I used like stencils to create this. But I didn't realize until I looked at this years later that it looks like a penis. And so I don't think it's on my DeviantArt anymore, thankfully, because that's really embarrassing. Like, it looks like a penis. And it's just weird, and I had no idea. Yeah, so that happened. Here is a piece, here's the last piece in this binder, but here's the piece that I did my first Copic marker tutorial on, and it's hilarious because it's really terrible and everything is like so streaky, and I was like, here's how to color so you don't get streaks, and then it was entirely streaks. All of it. And so it's Captain Kirk and Uhura from the like remake of the Star Trek movies. And I loved this piece at the time, and I loved Star Trek. It was just like funny that I made a tutorial of this, because it's don't take the advice in that tutorial. I don't think it's up on DeviantArt anymore. If it is, it's in the scraps, but don't follow my advice. Next, I'm going to take you guys through my like portfolios. This one is to hold 11 by 14 pieces, and again, these will kind of go 2009 through 2011-ish, 2012. So you can kind of see we're back at the like drawing really small figures in like huge amounts of floating space, and this one's just kind of cute. She's also, again, wearing Converse. That's something that I just didn't let die. And then she's surrounded by a bunch of little paper Marios, and yeah, you can tell she's very like stiff looking. So that was something that I improved on, at least I think a little bit. This piece up here, I used watercolors for part of this and then Copic markers, but I should have done this on a smaller piece of paper because it's so spaced out. But I basically did like a bunch of fairy tale things. So there's like, I don't know, this isn't on my DeviantArt anymore, so I'll just like run through it. There's like Jack and Jill up here. The Tortoise and the Hare, The Dish and the Spoon, The Lady and the Shoe. Then there's like Puss in Boots, Alice in Wonderland, Humpty Dumpty. Then there's like Baba, Black Sheep. And then this was like kind of stereotyped, you guys, but I did like the black sheep has like a fro, and then this white sheep just looks like a jerk. He just looks like a jerk. And yeah, so I'm kind of glad I took this down because I think it was kind of weird. But then I have like Little Red Riding Hood, and then the wolf, and then the Three Little Pigs. So it was like cool in theory, but it didn't actually turn out that good. And then this piece was like another mafia inspired piece. So like there's two guys and they're pointing like their fingers like they're guns, but they're not actually holding guns. And then there's like little roses like blowing away. So it's like symbolism. And then there's like a rosary and a locket. I don't know. I was like super into mafia stuff, and I wanted to do a comic for a long time, but I just never did. Oh my gosh, these are like in every which direction. Let's do this piece up here first. This is like, I don't know, I think this was my Christmas piece one year on DeviantArt, and then I did like all these snowflakes in gel pen. And then this is just like a fairy piece, and again there's a lot of floating space, but I tried to fill it up a little bit with like some leaves and a giant ash strawberry, so you have some scale, some reference to see how small she is. And then I did like some lace on the borders. So I've always liked lace. That's one thing that I have always liked. Next. Okay, I won't spend too long on these pieces because this one, I really like the people in it, but then I like ruined the background by writing a super angsty like letter. And I won't go into it, but I really like the way the people looked out, like the way they turned out. And so when I posted these on DeviantArt, I just like cut out the background because I was like, okay, I was super angsty, but now I'm over it. And yeah. So this piece is, I was trying to do a thing for a while where I would sketch like magazine covers, and this was one of Olivia Wilde, so it's a little bit more like semi-realism, but I never finished it, and this was the only one I ever did, so fun fact. And then this is like jump forward to like 2012-ish. This was created during my senior year of high school, and I really love this piece because I used the airbrush, Copic airbrush, when I still had it, to do the background, and I like added tape here so it wouldn't get on that part. And yeah, I don't know, I just really love this piece. I thought it turned out really beautiful, and I love like the way her face turned out. And this is still on my DeviantArt, so you can check that out. And then this one is just more Batman stuff because I've been into Batman for a long time, and so I did the 3 Girls of Arkham. Well, actually, someone corrected me because they said Selena Kyle's never been in Arkham, so it's technically the Girls of Gotham. But yeah, that's in marker, so it's no takesy backsies. And then the rest of these are empty because I don't draw on 11 by 14 paper that often. So, moving on. Oh my gosh, this one. Oh, it's heavy. Oh, okay. This says 2010, but it's kind of 2009 through 2011, just like the rest of them. Here's some just sketches. I probably won't go through all of these, but here's like a bookmark that I made. Rest in peace, Spock, Leonard Nimoy. Just some like random sketches. I don't know. But here's like a Romeo and Juliet inspired piece. Again, roses were a really big thing. Black, white, and red for me was a really big thing. I don't know. I just really liked it. And they just look like some punk-ass, hipster, Romeo and Juliet kind of people. So, I don't know. I thought this one turned out cute. And again, of course they're wearing Converse. These are some older pieces. This one, I don't know. I like the flowers, but I don't really like much else about it. I like these flowers, I should say. I don't really like the blue. And I don't know. This whole piece wasn't one of my favorites. So, moving on. I did the Kingdom Hearts character, Kiari. I don't know. I've honestly never played Kingdom Hearts, but I really liked the way her character looked, and so I did a fan art of her. I thought it turned out kind of cute. Although, kind of looks like she has like a rash or a beard. I don't know. I think maybe my marker leaked or something there, because the skin's kind of weird. So, whatever. This is still like one of my favorite pieces that I've ever done because it's so simple, but it looks like so nice. I don't know. Oh my gosh, the glare is so bad. And I almost never draw darker skin tones, and I don't really know why. I think it's because I get nervous about like shading them. Like, I don't want to make it look like too like dark and stuff, and so like, but this one I think I did a really good job, and I don't know, I really like this. I love the dress and I love the grass, and I just think it's cute. So here I did like a hipster flash, and it's not like kid flash because I wasn't like really into kid flash then, but it's just like flash as a punk ass teenager. So yeah, I thought that was kind of random, but I've loved DC and superheroes for a long time. I did this like a mini series also where I tried to like create beverage packaging in like dresses and like characters and stuff, like fashion design kind of, and like this one turned out fashion designy. This was supposed to be like Arizona green tea, and then this one turned out more costume like, and I didn't like this one as much, but I really liked this one. And yeah, so that's, and then I did a monster one, but it wasn't really like a fashion thing. It was just like, here's a girl and she's wearing a Monster t-shirt for like Monster energy drinks. And here I did a few of my favorite Batman characters. So I did Selena Kyle, Bruce Wayne, Dick Grayson, Harley, and then I did Barbara Gordon and Joker. So yeah, this was an old one, but I really liked this piece. I thought they turned out cute. I really like the way the Joker turned out. He turned out cool. Here is, oh my gosh, here's a Teen Titans fan art, and it's just Robin and Starfire, and she turned out really disproportionate, or I don't know, just like the posing's weird. And like she turned out like a little dark for her character. Like this skin color didn't really suit her character that well, but it's okay. And then I liked the background because it was like the Teen Titans intro. Here's a princess. I think this was from like Enchanted. I don't really know though. It was kind of random. Here's like a Christmas piece. My cousin actually ended up buying this one, and she has it like in her room now. I think she bought this one. Maybe it was a different one. I don't know. But she bought one like this. And, like tutus and like striped stockings and boots were another thing that I really did. If it wasn't Converse, it was boots. Here's just a sketch of Robin and Batgirl. I really like the way Batgirl turned out, but Robin's kind of weird looking. His head's really small or something. But yeah, just a sketch that I wanted to throw in to show you guys. I think this is where we're getting into like 2010 more. I love the sunflowers in this piece. And this was my friend Clarissa, and she was on the swim team. And this is vaguely more or less what she looked like. Yeah, just kind of random. And I think she asked me to draw her, and I actually did. So yeah, this piece didn't turn out like I wanted it to. I don't know what I don't really like about it, but I don't really like it. So yeah, kind of just 50s retro inspired, but well, whatever. Here's another DC fan art that I did, and it's like young Dick Grayson looking at old Dick Grayson, and old Dick Grayson looking at young Dick Grayson, and it's a sunset, and it's super dramatic, except it's really not that good. So yeah, the idea was there, but the skill level wasn't. Here's just some little cute elves that I did for Christmas, probably. That would make sense. Yeah, just cute little elves. And then this piece, I don't really like either, but yeah. These are the pieces that were in like my first art show, as well as my AP art portfolio. So this piece, there's like a lot more symbolism in these pieces. Like this one's like, here's a girl and she's like in between the past and the future, and like the past is like so nice and the future is like unknown, but like, I don't know, whatever. It's kind of cool though. I used Cartoon Girl 7's balloon coloring tutorial, and yeah, I don't know, I just thought this was kind of cool. And this was in my art show. This was in my AP art portfolio, and I colored this using the Prismacolor sticks. And I love the way the hands turned out, and I don't know, I just think it's a cool piece and kind of different for me. And this was also with the Prismacolor sticks. And I don't know, I just like the way these pieces turned out. I really do like the color sticks because I like this effect. And if you look closely, like, they're kind of messy and like scratchy, but I don't know, I really like that look. So yeah. And back to Copic marker art. This one's also not one of my favorite pieces because it's kind of random, but I like the whole retro vibe. And yeah, and she's spilling her like strawberry daiquiri everywhere. Here's another DC fan art. It's like Bruce Wayne and Barbara Gordon, and the proportions are kind of weird with this one too, but she's like hugging Bruce Wayne, and Bruce Wayne like doesn't know how to what are emotion, and she's hugging him. And I like the way that like her boots turned out. I thought they were cute. So yeah, an Indiana Jones fan art, and I was so mad after I did this because this was in my art show, but I forgot to draw his lasso, or his whip, not his lasso. Oh my god. Yeah, his whip. And so it's like, how do you know if it's Indiana Jones? He doesn't have his whip. How do you know? I don't know. So yeah, just another piece. And then here's another one that I really love. I don't know why. It's like just this girl, and she's wearing like a panda hoodie, and then there's these like panda bubbles floating everywhere really randomly. And I think this one was in my art show too. I know this one was. This was like my first Supergirl piece, and I loved this because it was like very monochromatic for the most part, and I just think it turned out really good, except for the fact that like the proportions were kind of off. And I opted for like her midriff costume, which isn't like my favorite. I don't know why I do that one, but I don't know. I love this, and I love her hair, and I think it turned out really good. So yeah. Here's another piece, obviously, that I did, and these are when I don't know, but you can see here the eyes, how I started drawing them more like completely closed off, and yeah, more detail, more close up, kind of fancy. And then this piece is just like, this one's a full background one, which is pretty cool. This was in my art show too, and she's just like loitering in a no loitering spot, and she's like sitting in the middle of the road apparently, and just kind of smoking a cigarette, and the cigarette has heart smoke. I have never smoked cigarettes, but for some reason I think they're cool to draw. So yeah, anyway, this piece was cool, and I was so sad. I completely forgot that I ever made this, but I think it looks cool, and I'm like bummed that I never got around to finishing it. Yeah, so there's like, she's like a mermaid or something, or like a siren, except she has legs. So I mean, whatever. She's got beads everywhere. She's got this cool like dress thing, and she's got fish like spewing out of the water, and she's like got a shell. I don't know, it just looked like a cool piece, and I never finished it. Maybe I'll do a redraw of this one too. Let me know what you guys think, because I think that this would be a cool piece. And here is another one I did. This was just like black and gray, and then I added just like pops of pink, and yeah, just kind of a random kissing scene. Okay, I'm just gonna try and like hurry through the rest of these. This was just like a practice piece where I was practicing like anatomy more, and so I was drawing like lingerie to kind of get a better view of like the actual human form. And then I was doing a bunch of lace, which was really fun. Here's an Adam and Eve picture that I did that was kind of fun, kind of random, and I really liked the way that this came together. Thought it was pretty good. Here's like my super famous Speak piece. This was in my art show, and I also did a Copic marker tutorial on this piece, which was really cool. And then here's another piece that I did a couple years back, and I used like all blues, and it was really fun, and I used rubbing alcohol for the background, and yeah. Oh, and then there's this piece, which is super random, but it's just like a girl, and she's blue, and she's got a messy bun and glasses, so she's kind of a hipster, but she's blue, and I'm not really sure what happened. Yeah, that's it for this one. And the last thing that we're gonna do. Bet you didn't expect to see my face just now. The last book that we're gonna go through is my current portfolio. You guys have seen this before, I'm pretty sure. But I'm just gonna take you through all the pieces. So here, okay, well, here's just like some random stuff. Here's like some stickers that I made just on like printing label paper. And then here's like a love note from my boyfriend that's just in here. This was from July of 2014, and it was on really bad paper. So all the ink bled and it just didn't turn out that great, but you can see this piece on my DeviantArt if you want to see it in more detail. Yeah. Here is a super old piece. This is from February 2014, but I didn't color it until like July or so. So it took me forever to get around to coloring it. And yeah, it's just like, again, with this like wave thing, I've always thought that was kind of cool, like the Japanese like tsunami waves that you see them draw, and I don't know, I thought it was cool. And they're naked, but you can't see because the wave is in the way. And you think they would be a little bit more distraught, but they're not, so it's fine. Here's my Raven fan art. I love this piece. It's still on really shitty paper, but I really love the way it turned out, and I don't know, I love it. Love it so much. So yeah. Here is another Batgirl and Nightwing fan art. Again, it's on really bad paper, so the overall quality was kind of diminished. But I don't know. It turned out alright. I'm not mad at it. And here's just another piece that I did. All of these are on my DeviantArt right now, so you can go see them whenever you wish. And yeah, basically this was just black Copic markers, a couple gray markers, and gold paint pen. So, and she doesn't really have eyes, which I kind of like. I think it's cool. Here is all the sketches that I did for my Young Justice piece. I colored them all digitally, but I drew them traditionally first, and then scanned them, and then inked them, and colored them digitally. So yeah. And here's just an old Robin sketch that I like in here. I like to keep in here because I like the pose. I used a reference for this pose and I don't remember where it is, but I hope to recreate this piece one day too. And this is like the Tim Drake Robin. My other Supergirl piece. This was when I was working a lot with my gray tones. Like, this looks blue and it looks red, but it's actually just warm and cool grays. So I think that's really cool, and I love working in that color palette. And then here's my 1930s Batgirl, or my 1930s Barbara Gordon, aka Batgirl, and Dick Grayson, aka Nightwing. I did them in their like regular people form, and they're retro and flapper-esque, and I don't know, yeah. And here's Zatanna, and yeah, I never drew her before because she's not like one of my favorite characters, but I like her costume design, so decided to give it a shot. And I did the same thing with the as this piece, but I did it with Selena Kyle and Bruce Wayne. So, but I love this one so much because I love all the lace detailing. You're not going to be able to see because the camera won't be able to really pick it up, but the lace detailing is really cool, so go check that one out on DeviantArt. Here's my Harley Quinn piece, except in the one I have on DeviantArt, I cropped this part out because I didn't really like it in the overall piece. But, yeah, I don't know. I really liked the way she turned out because I loved the way the pose looked. And, yeah, I thought this one turned out really good. And then here's Catwoman, up to her usual shenanigans. She's, like, stealing things, and then the cops catch her, and she's like, oh, who, me? Like, what'd I do? And then she's got, like, the Halle Berry butt. But that's okay, because Halle Berry has a nice butt. And here's when I started the My Mother Thinks I'm Morbid collection, and this was also when I got my 72 set of Copic markers, so you start to see a lot more colors in the coming pieces. So yeah, but I love half skull faces, half human faces, and I love balloons and sunflowers, and I love the color red. So pretty much that was, I just threw all of that into a picture and hoped for the best. Here's a Batgirl piece. I kind of did the similar pose that I did with Harley Quinn, except I had colors, and I did Batgirl. And yeah, I thought she turned out cute too. This pose is like really cute, and I really like drawing characters in this pose because like even though she's like a badass and has like a six-pack, it's still cute and I like it. Another half skull face and half human, except it's like the whole body and her heart's like outside of her body and she's just kind of holding it there and she's not worried. It's fine. Here is the Nightwing piece I did where I tried to draw the face after Mark Wahlberg's face, like young Mark Wahlberg, and it didn't really end up looking like him, but I can dream. And I modeled his costume after the one in Young Justice. So, yeah. Here's my little trading card size Bat Fam pics. I did Bruce Wayne, Dick Grayson, Barbara Gordon, and Tim Drake. And it's super cute because Batman's pissed at Nightwing because he's checking out Batgirl, Batgirl's checking out Nightwing, and Tim has no idea what's going on. And it's cute. One big happy family. And I want to add more onto these too because they are so small and they're really easy to do in relatively little time. So I'll probably add on to more of these. Here's another Batgirl and Nightwing piece. As you can tell, I like to do those quite a lot. And yeah, he's kind of like pinning her against an imaginary wall that I thought about drawing but then didn't. And yeah, I don't know. It's cute. Here is the, I don't know, it's kind of a remake of that other piece that I did. Let me find that for comparison. So these two pieces of like young Dick Grayson and old Dick Grayson is kind of like a remake of this piece that I did, only these are a lot better. So I just thought that was kind of interesting and I wanted to show you guys like the comparison of like, this was like 2009, 2010, and this was 2015. So that's cool. So yeah, these are relatively new. I have a video of me coloring this up on this channel, so you can check that out. And this is just like the other part to it. I didn't record this one, but it's like the day is new and he's like a young superhero, and then it's like the sun has set and he's ready to move on, and it's so metaphorical and it's so dramatic. Yeah, but I like it and it turned out cute. Here's the series that I did like for February and for Valentine's Day. I did like all my favorite DC couples in a diner drinking milkshakes, and yeah, so cute. So here's Barbara Gordon, Dick Grayson sharing a strawberry milkshake at night. Here's Magan and Connor, aka Miss Martian and Superboy, sharing a chocolate milkshake during the daytime. And then lastly, we have Artemis and Wally, aka Artemis and Kid Flash, sharing a butt ton of food, and it's like sunset. So yeah, I thought this was kind of cool. It was kind of a neat thing to recreate the same picture, or at least a really similar picture, 3 different times, and because they all turned out different, and I all like them for different reasons. But yeah, there's that piece, and then here's the no sketch challenge piece that I did, where I just colored this with my Copic markers. I didn't have any pencil lines or inking lines there, so this is all Copic markers just directly on paper. And I have a video of this as well. It's kind of a long video. I'm sure this is going to be a long video, so sorry. Yeah, so that's my no sketch challenge piece. Here is the zombie like prom pose piece that I did. The coloring video for this one is up on YouTube, and yeah, so you can go check that out, and you can check out the full spiel about it on DeviantArt too. This is an old piece. I don't know why this is in here. This is from 2013, but this is like another no sketch thing that I did using just Copic markers, and I didn't like sketch it out or anything beforehand. So kind of fun, kind of cool. These are 2 pieces that I just did in pen. I didn't use pencil for these either. I just used my pen, so that's why they look like a little bit more like sketch-like. But I just did these in my sketchbook during class, and I really liked the way they turned out. So this one's like stone cold, and she's like serving up ice cream, and she's all punk rock, and I like her a lot. I think she's cute. And then this one is just like a girl, and like her life is falling apart, and her frog backpack is like not impressed, and she's just asking her iPhone, Siri, why do I even bother? And I don't know, I thought it was cute. So I did those. Obviously I did those. I did all of these, in case you're wondering. Anyway, here is my Bravest Warriors piece. As I'm recording this, which is currently March 21st, 22nd, this was the latest piece on my DeviantArt, but I'm going to show you the other pieces, because probably by the time this video is up, all those other pieces will be posted, so it won't be like spoiling anything. But yeah, here's my Bravest Warriors piece of Beth and Chris. Here is the first piece I did in a series that I want to start, of pictures all inspired by Killer songs. And so this was the song Spaceman, and she's like a naked lady floating in space, and like her body is dissolving into the universe. Yeah, I don't know. I thought this was cute, and I really liked the way this turned out, actually. And I drew, inked, and colored this all in one day because I could not stop. I was so excited about finishing this. So I'm excited to do more of those kinds of pieces. Here is my Hipster Princess Bubblegum piece, where I like made her like festival ready, and I loved the way this one turned out too, because it was really easy, like a simple sketch, but I inked the lines in colored pens, and I think that gave it a really cool look. So probably do more of these pieces in the future too, because I really like the way those turned out. And the last piece I have in here at the moment is my Baymax picture. Kind of did like a lot of galaxy backgrounds lately, and the video that I filmed of Baymax here on YouTube shows how I created this kind of background, and you could like, I used this same technique as I did for this one, so you can see you can get it to look a lot different depending on the colors that you use. But yeah, you guys, that is it. I am exhausted, and both my feet are asleep, and yeah. So I hope you enjoyed all the progress that I've made in the past 6 years? 7 years? I don't know. Yeah, thank you guys for sticking out, and if you made it to the end of this video, awesome, good for you. I admire your dedication, and I will see you guys in my next video.